7th Curator in Residence at Disjecta Contemporary. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, but I'm based in Seattle. I've been living in Seattle for 6 years, and I run a small contemporary art gallery in Seattle entitled Interstitial. And I have been very fortunate to build a season of programming over the last year here at Disjecta, curating 4 exhibitions. And those exhibitions have been cultivated around the theme of navigating feminine identity through digital communication and across technological platforms. So the first in that series of exhibitions was a group show entitled A Situation of Meat, and I worked with 4 early to mid-career artists that presented pretty large-scale installations in this space. So I worked with 4 artists: Dakota Gearhart, who was based in Seattle at the time, Braxton Congrove from Richmond, Virginia, Mel Carter, also from Seattle, and then Maggie Condit, who's an artist based in Portland. The works in that show really presented a dichotomy between the beauty and the grotesqueness of really the cliches of feminine identity. So a lot of the works were very ephemeral, very body, very womb-like, a lot of references to family and domestic space. So it was really exciting to see, each of these artists express that in their own way. So the second exhibition that I presented at Disjecta was entitled A Cloud of Petals, and that was a solo show by Sarah May Ojas. She's based in New York. And that was an exhibition that consisted of a large-scale projected video work and 4 virtual reality worlds that we were able to bring into the gallery. And A Cloud of Petals was a performance that was facilitated by the artist, in which she hired male workers to pull the petals, the individual petals, off of 10,000 roses. And so each petal was then photographed and documented, and those petals made their way into this digital network. So she imposed them into a digital space and created a learning network from this archive of petals, essentially. And then that network was really materialized in the virtual reality space. So each world had an immersive element that allowed the petals to sort of surround the viewer and interact with the viewer. So they were able to really visualize what that work looked like. So I felt really privileged to be able to bring that project to Portland and to Disjecta. It was really beautiful. So the third exhibition within my season was a solo show by Portia Munson entitled Flood. And so Portia works in the process of collection. So she's been doing these plastic collected installations for several years. They've materialized in different color schemes. So there's a pink project that she's been collecting pink objects for 20 years to build these really gendered installations. So we were talking a lot about, Portia and I were talking a lot about what that could look like at Disjecta, and she was really interested in collecting blue objects. And so we facilitated a residency with C3 Initiative for her during her time in Portland, and she was able to be in Portland and collect objects throughout her time here that were then included in the installation. So the installation consisted of filling the gallery with the fullness of that collection. And so the plastic objects were arranged by color and gradient, and essentially creating this really beautiful object out of waste, more or less. And then Portia also was also archiving her collection, so she was making scans and creating this system of digitally saving these objects, and that was materialized as a slideshow that was part of the exhibition as well. So the final exhibition in my season, Chromatic Saturation, is a solo work by Sandra Perry. And Sandra works in this really exciting place of navigating digital platforms in relationship to Black history, family narrative, documentary. She does a lot of 3D renderings of the body. So Lineage, which is a 2-channel installation, is a work that she made back in 2015, in which she is very lovingly and tenderly facilitating these rituals with her family and asking them to peel sweet potatoes, pose for family photos, and all while wearing these chroma key green ski masks. And then finally, she's also showing that in relationship to It's in a Game, which is a piece that is about her brother, her twin brother Sandy, who is a Division I basketball player, and his body statistics are acquired by the NCAA as a college athlete, and then they were sold off to EA Sports to develop a game. And then also included in the exhibition are the workstations, and those are an ongoing sculptural exploration for Sandra, and can only be really accessed through particular placement of the body. She really is approaching identity on these digital spaces, and how we can still have that agency of identity even when our body is detached, the physical body is detached. So that's been really exciting to sort of close out the season with this work. So my practice, my curatorial practice, up until this opportunity has been largely self-directed. So I've been cultivating my own opportunities, cultivating my own space. So to have the ability to have access and support to curate exhibitions in a space that is as large and beautiful as Disjecta is, and also within the framework of an institution, is really valuable for me at this point in my practice and within my career. My space in Seattle, that's called Interstitial. It's 500 square feet. It's very tiny. I've been hosting solo shows there, primarily based in new media, for 3 years, and I've been able to do a lot, and I've been really proud of building that platform. But to be able to take that work in that very small space and bring it here and see what that can be and what that can look like and how I can own that is really exciting. And I've also been able to work with artists that don't really need to be in a 500 square foot gallery, that really need to bring all of these works together to create this bigger immersive experience of what their voice and their narrative truly is. And that's everything. I mean, that's it. I want to thank Disjecta for facilitating this opportunity for me to expand my career and mount these huge exhibitions. And Blake Shell, the director, has been instrumental in supporting me to do so. And I also want to thank Disjecta's board for their continual support.